What's going on, people? It's Mr. Door back again with the review show. I hope everyone's fit and well. And we're in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. How exciting is that to say? We're in the semi-finals, people. How many years? Wait, I would say how many years was it to Raz? But Raz wasn't born. We're going to say Steve or Des because they're over the 50-odd mark. So,
he's getting a bigger push next time.
But yeah,
it's
people.
31 years, though. It's 31 years.
See, that's why I said Des and Steve a bit older than me and Rad, so that's why they know more than us. People in the comments, how happy you are. How happy you are to be in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup after the penalty shootout win. If you're new to the channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and comment below, people, how happy are you for the win. Well, let's get the guests in. We already introduced one of them. Let's forget about the old generation. Let's get the young generation first. Rads, how you doing, Rads?
Very good. Just still a bit of disbelief, really, that my club's in a semi-final of a cup competition.
Believe, wouldn't it?
Amazing. Yeah, very happy with that.
I think the last semi-final for my age, my era, I can't remember. I'm not going to ask these two because, like I said, they're over the 50 mark and they've seen it all. So next one, who can say who's old? People in the comments, who do you think's older, Des or Steve? Who do you think's older? People get involved. Who do you think's older, Steve, or which older is oldest? Next up is Steve. How you doing, Steve?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
I'm not too bad. How old are you, Stephen?
38.
No,
I'm not. Let's put it away to all your viewers. I've seen all 6 League Cup semi-finals, and we've won them all.
This is why he's old, people. We need some experience on this channel as well. And last but not least, we've got the man. He's been eating people, but he's at it all now. Is he? Does he at it all, Des? Is it all gone?
You know, Dor, I'm a busy man on a Thursday, and not to give anything away, but I don't mind following Uncle Steve.
We've got the balance of pairs with Do Daily. How are you, Des, after yesterday's result?
Yeah, I'm all right. Like I said, I'm busy, so I've just done some content on my own channel. I've been out running tonight and done some coaching. I've got a dog that won't shut up. But, I'm all right, and I'm still buzzing from last night's result. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Oh, that's the way it's been. Before we do talk about it, go through the comments. There's quite a lot of people in as well. How you doing, Kel? Nice seeing you yesterday. Kieran, good to see you as well, as always. The best Rad Dad. How you doing, Rad's dad, the number one, as you know. It's Rad's dad, people. It's Rad's dad. Hi, people. Hello, Mr. Door. How you doing, Derek? Member to the channel. If you want to be a member as well, people, don't be shy. It costs like £1.99. Get all the vlogs early before it gets out. So if you do want to be a member, please do. Adam Astor, how you doing? Adam, good evening, gents. What a great night last night it was. Absolutely great night yesterday, and that's what we're going to talk about throughout the show. Sonny, how you doing, Sonny? I hope you're well. Gamer, we're all young in heart, Mr. Door. People in the comments, who do you think's older, Des or Steve? Get in the comments. Who's older? Paul, good evening, gents. Great night. 3 points for Saturday will make a half decent week. It will.
Where do you think Dor comes in this equation?
I'm the youngest. Raz is the third oldest. So I'll put it out there, people. I'm not the oldest here. I think English Steve is older than Des. Sorry, English Steve. I didn't say it, people.
I'm young at heart.
I hope you're all happy with the first team to retain the League Cup as well. Yeah, 100%. Just in another member, morning lads. What a performance by Hendo! And like I said, people, that's something that we are going to talk about throughout the show. Last but not least, we'll talk about American fella. How you doing, Chris? Evening, gentlemen. Another epic night for the Wolves' famous City Ground. Come on, you Reds! Right, let's get in. Let's get in, Des. Yesterday's performance. What was your reaction for the whole game?
So I thought that obviously it was a brilliant night, and penalties was always going to add excitement. I didn't quite expect that much until Morgan did his best something house.
Wait, people in the comments, do the emoji and do the celebration. People in the comments, get the emoji and do it. Go on, Des.
Yeah, so obviously that made it a brilliant end to the night. You know what? I enjoyed it as a football match. It wasn't plain sailing. I'm sure everybody agrees on that. Forest. I thought Forest was all over them for 30 minutes. I thought they was at odds at the back. The big guy, the number 24, he couldn't pass it to. He couldn't pass it to anyone. So we were nicking the ball off them. We were creating chances. Of course, we scored. Then we conceded. I still thought we played well for another, till about the 60-minute mark. I thought we played decent stuff when we was in possession. But again, it was when we didn't have the ball, just a bit like Blackpool at the weekend. And they created, well, they didn't create. We created for them 2 great chances, which Henderson made top saves from in the first half. And then as they come out with a bit more. Ruben Neves for me is a brilliant footballer. I would love to have him in Forest midfield. I know it's unrealistic. I'm not saying we should sign him, but what a player he is. He made the difference at half time. But I still thought Forest were playing some decent stuff until Bolly went off. If we're looking for most improved performers this season, what a difference that guy is from his debut. I thought he was man of the match again to that point. Of course, Henderson made those saves, so he was right in with a shout. But I thought until 60 minutes, Bolly was commanding. He'd done a real good job in stopping them and breaking things up when it did get through the midfield. But then as soon as he went off, everything changed, didn't it? It felt like it was backs to the wall. We conceded. They scored a really good goal, mind. I've seen that goal again. And when you're at the match, you kind of remember the finish and the last few touches. But they worked a real good opportunity down that left-hand side. Their right-hand side even, down our left back side. And it was a really good finish. And then it was just a case of hanging in there a little bit, wasn't it? Digging in. And if you see my report for Pitch Footy, I almost said, this is what Forest are getting good at. Finding a result now, and this is why it's so much better than it was. When people are losing their head, it's so important. And then if you saw my social media, I put out there about, like, nights at the City Ground are always special, under the lights, the setting by the river. But we've got so much to thank this guy for, Steve Cooper, for giving us nights like this. And it was only a few weeks ago after that Man United game that everybody was losing their head. Now we've got a League Cup semi-final against Manchester United and everybody's all over it. And I think what a place to be right now, because it's all going in the right direction again, isn't it? And the one thing I've reiterated time and time again on here and in other places is this is what Steve Cooper does. He makes football teams better at the end of the season than they were at the start of the season. And it might not be as dramatic as last season. It might not end. Some games are going to be tougher. We're not going to steamroll for everyone, but we're having a bloody good time along the way. And last night, another one of those where you go home smiling, laughing, joking, talking about it, and feeling like we're making massive steps in the right direction.
100%. Steve, Des touched on what Steve Cooper's done for us, right? And that Leicester game, we lost 4-0, and everyone thought, I won't say everyone, 50-50 people wanted Cooper gone. And now look what he's done from the Leicester game. For me, I'm not saying what he did last year. Last year was something that you'll never forget. But
I don't think it'll never be done again last year.
It'll never be done again. But what he's done from that Leicester game from now, it's just something that as Forest fans to think, oh, this guy is good. It's still got little tweaks that he can do, but it's slowly getting better in it from the Leicester game.
Yeah, I think what I said that Leicester game, because we were all there, and I think I said it to you and Des. I thought before kickoff, winner stays, loser goes. That's how it was being portrayed. I thought it was. Thankfully, someone in the hierarchy at Forest saw how good Cooper was. We have to take into consideration that we had all these players signed, and they will go on about that. And we had to sign them because we lost quite a few players, and they were taking time to gel. But I think I heard someone say this morning that if Forest stay up, which I think they will, and they've got in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, that is a remarkable, successful season for 23 years being out of the Premier League. And it's an amazing achievement what Steve Cooper would have done, would have completed. I can't recall after Brian Clough, I think you might have had Frank Clark, a manager that has galvanised all the fans together, what he's done for the club. I mean, Des is right. You can't buy a ticket for love and money now. You can't get a ticket. 6 years ago, that ground would have been, 13,000? You could have picked wherever you want to sit. And that's because of the manager, the owner, and we're loving it. That's where we are. And we, like Des says, we are successful. I think we'll stay up. Big game on Saturday. And I think Cooper will get the players ready for that now. We're getting focused on that one game at a time. But he's done so much for this club. People don't. He's changed us really, hasn't he? We were going to League One before he took over. Let's not reality. Let's just have a rain check here, everyone. We were League One. In the same year, he's took us from staring at League One to Premiership. What an achievement!
Before I get Brad's opinion, I do apologise, Eve. This comment from Eve. Hello, Mr. Store Deaths. Sorry. I'm Rad. Hope you're well. I'm doing some drawings while watching and listening. I can't bear to watch at the Pens last night. I think everyone was exactly the same. I was exactly the same. I couldn't bear to watch it, but it had to be done. And Eve, make sure if you drawing Des or Steve, make sure they got big heads and small bodies. Please do. So you can put up. Des, you're on mute, Des. You're on mute. Yes, we didn't hear Des. It's on mute. What is it, Des?
I says I'll take that. Body.
Let's get to Raj. Like I think you're the youngest here. It's the first time you've seen a semi-final. First time you saw a semi-final. How do you feel as a Forest fan like winning the semi-final of the Carabao Cup? We know the bigger teams don't take it as all. They take it as something they don't care about. But as a Forest fan, we're in the semi-final. How are you feeling about it?
It's kind of overwhelming, really. Like what we've done the last year and a half or something. Getting promoted. Then obviously the FA Cup run last year was very special. All those games at home against big teams as well. Even Huddersfield were obviously one of the better sides in the Championship. So yeah, that was special. Because to then go and top it the next year in another cup, where you've got to play similar teams. We knocked Spurs out. We've knocked out a rejuvenated Wolves side. Blackburn may be in the Championship, but they were third in it. I don't think we can really say Grimsby was too difficult, but still, it's unbelievable what we've managed to do, especially when we've had to be fine against all the odds in the Premier League to just get out the bottom three. And like we were saying, after that Leicester game, it was one of the lowest moments I can remember, really. And we've seen some really bad things before Steve Cooper, right up there because of just how bad it was. But I think the context was key. Obviously, having so many new players in, being in a brand new league, the manager was new to the league as well. There was so much to contend with. And yeah, it was bad, but I think we've seen it really was just that impactful, having basically a new squad. So yeah, we've seen, I think, since that Spurs Cup game that we really have come a very long way. Even before that, when we got that draw at Brighton, who are an excellent side, I think we were starting to see signs of it. But if I think since that Brighton game, we've only lost 2 games, and they would see to the big 6 away from home, which for Arsenal, who are doing well at the top of the league, and then Man United, who haven't lost for like 7 games or something. So I don't think we should be too ashamed about that at all. Every other game, we've ever got a point from it. And, you know, we drew with Chelsea, we've beaten big teams, and, you know, it's just brilliant. That win against Southampton, it may have been against Southampton, but it got us at the bottom 3, and that's what we all want. And, you know, just to be above 18th is where we want to be this season. And I really think we can do it. You know, we've got an excellent side. Just look at some of the players we've got on that team. Gibbs White, bring in Scarpa, who looks excellent. We could be getting his teammate in as well, for all we know. So, you know, it's pretty surreal, really, seeing all these top players playing for us, cup semi-finalists, just being in the Prem, quite frankly. So, yeah, it's amazing. It really is.
People comments, get your questions. If you'd like to ask any questions to myself, there's D or Dave, please do. And if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe to my channel. Make sure everyone subscribes to Des, we do daily, and everyone make sure at the bottom subscribe to Rad as well. I'll put the link in the description, so make sure everyone does subscribe to everyone. Right, you and ask Des about the question, and I'll answer this question last. And people in the comments get involved. Scarpa made. I don't want to make it a Scarpa show because everyone does. Des, your opinion. How do you think Scarpa played? And people get in the comments, get involved.
He played okay. Do you know? Okay. There's, like you say, there's a lot of excitement about him, and rightly so. What he's shown us so far, you know, there's some touches of absolute brilliance. He looks like a genuine match winner. You know, we've probably one touch of the ball is going to win you a football match. You know, and when Forest, the problem with Forest in recent months, and even with the improvement, you look at the Southampton game, for example, we don't create shed loads of chances. I touched on how hard we're working at the minute to win games and get points and get through in the cup. So we don't create masses of chances. So somebody with an eye for a pass, or somebody who's going to put one through 2 defenders, like he did at Blackpool, for example, when he put Dennis in, you know, he's rightly to be excited about. But again, it boils down to that thing we said from the outset, doesn't it? Let's just let the guy develop. He becomes a world beater. Enjoy it. If it don't quite work every game, you know, just accept that that's football. It doesn't happen for Morgan Gibbs-White every game. It doesn't happen for Brennan Johnson every game, you know. But there's too much, and again, it's the same with the Cooper thing. There's too much either you're with or you're with not. Do you know what I mean? It's either Cooper in or Cooper out. You know, it doesn't have to be like that, does it? And it's the same with Scarpa. It doesn't have to be Scarpa in or Morgan Gibbs-White in, or, you know, or somebody out. Because I think, like, there was 1 or 2 questions I posed about the substitutions in the Blackpool game, for example. You know, I thought they waited too long, but that doesn't mean I don't think Steve Cooper's been absolutely amazing for Forest. And again, there's too much opinion around Scarpa. The reason I'm using them as an example, because it's the way it's going. It's either you've got to talk about this guy as an absolute world beater or not. Yesterday, he did okay. You know, he didn't play like we'd seen him before, but he didn't play bad. You know, he was busy. He was getting amongst them. It feels like we've got a different dimension on the pitch when he's there. You know, we know Morgan Gibbs-White can almost fill any position across the front 5, you know, if you include the midfield as well. You know, so Morgan Gibbs-White's always going to be effective. And I just thought they linked up really well for the first 30 minutes. I just think it might be a lot of football, a lot of tough football, you know, in tough conditions as well. I'm not making that as an excuse because that's just the way it is in winter. But a lot of tough football and a lot of running and still getting to grips with the English game. I just think he probably just burnt out a little bit towards the end. And Cooper made the substitution, probably with one eye on Leicester as well, you know, at the weekend. Because I don't know what the situation is with Tyro, but it doesn't look like he's going to be fit. It doesn't look like Lingard's imminently back in action. I've no idea on that, by the way. But if that's the case, it looks like he pulled all his some of his players off, who've worked a lot in recent weeks, who've had a lot of game time to give him a bit of a break. So yeah, I was happy enough with Scarpa. He missed that chance. I don't think it was. Cooper said in his interview he should have scored. From looking from the Bridgeford end, I don't think it was that clear cut, but he still could have scored. I just think
from my angle, I thought he should have scored. From my, but from your angle, was it should have scored?
And that's the difference, isn't it? We all see things from a different. It was like the Brennan Johnson one last week. Brennan Johnson, when he's running through on goal, and everyone said he should have squared it to Tyro. He shouldn't have if you sat in the Bridgeford end, because it looked like the pass weren't on. And again, I don't think he could have scored, and perhaps on another day he would have scored, but I don't think it was a sitter. And that's the point. I think he did all right, Scarpa. And this is what I've been talking about from day one, just tempering our expectation and seeing him as a real bonus. We had this guy from the summer, and now we're starting to almost see him as a brand new signing and somebody who's very cheap and almost could be the world beater we need him to be.
Before we get Steve and Dave's reaction, and I just saw a comment from Kieran. John Percy has tweeted out, as you know, Jay, as a spoke to Palmares fan, regarding Diallo. John Percy has just done a tweet. Nottingham Forest are very close to completing the 60 million deal of Palmares midfielder Diallo. He'll be the second signing of January window for Diallo, set to fly to England soon. People in the comments, what's your reaction towards that? And shout out to Jay as well for doing an interview with a Palmares fan. So people, if you did as well, please watch it after the stream. Let me see. What's your opinion about Scarpa?
I tend to not totally agree with Des. I think he did okay, and I think he sort of fell away in the second half because it was not having a good game or anything. I think Wolves in the second half started dominating our midfield a little bit more. You've got to take into consideration, if I'm right, I think that he's only played about 20 minutes of Premier League football. Is that right? At Southampton, give or take, yeah. And that was his first game at home. I like him. I think when he settles in, because you're coming from a different environment, he's going to settle in. I think he'll be a good player. I don't see any different. Nothing that says to me he's going to be a flop or anything to be worried about. But I think in the first half he tried to get on the ball as best he can. He tried to move it forward as quick as he can. But in the second half, I just think Wolves, they started dominating our midfield, and we just said about the tweet with John Percy. I think this is the perfect example. We need a number 6. I think we desperately need a number 6 so we can get our midfield pushing a little bit more forward. But yeah, I think he did okay. I really did think he did okay. But he just. Fitness, maybe it's a lot faster in it. This sport, this game over here.
Before I get back, I'll make it short and sweet. The first half, I noticed. I don't know if anyone in the comments or in the panel noticed. He didn't press at all. I'm not saying. I'm saying he's used to how the English play football. But if you notice, he didn't press. The second half, when Ruben Neves come on, everywhere Ruben Neves went, he followed. So I said, that's how I like to analyze on. Like I said, he was okay. It wasn't fantastic, but I think he needs to adjust to English football.
What you'd say about that, though, Dor? Sorry to interrupt. I know you want to speak to lads, but that's where Forest are digging out these results. So Scarpa's role and somebody else's role on a pitch to win a football match. There's different ways to win a football match. So Scarpa's role might have changed to look after him a little bit, because that guy is a hell of a player and he has a hell of an influence, and he's been in the Premier League now for about 5 years. I don't know exactly. So again, people don't understand this sometimes. I heard something about Brennan Johnson last week where they're asking him not to do so much running back, and then people call him lazy. So there's more than one way to win a football match. And ultimately, last night, we can be happy because we got the result. And we just got to realise at times it's not all fairy tales and daisy chains. We take what we get, and if we win and we get through to cup competitions, it's brilliant.
Brad, what's your opinion? Was you happy? Was it your first time to watch him live?
Yeah.
What was your opinion on seeing him live?
I was very excited to see him play live after all the hype and seeing him away games. I agree with what everyone else is saying. Really, it wasn't like outstanding, but there's certainly that potential there, the magic that we've all been raving about. I was a little bit surprised that it wasn't on set pieces, to be honest. I thought it was going to be on set pieces. Not that Gibbs White was doing a bad job with them, but I just thought because he can be a set piece taker, we might have put him on them. But I don't think that's too much of a concern based off what he did. There's some good passes he did here and there. But yeah, I noticed it wasn't really pressing. He didn't do anything too spectacular. He hasn't played so bad that I thought, okay, let's just not play him against Leicester. I think I'd still start him against Leicester. And we saw away at Southampton, that amazing pass that he did for Nico. So stuff like that is
that's what I love. I think, and that's what I love about it. Sorry to cut you off, right? But and that's what I love, because when he gets the ball, he can find that pass. He like before he gets the ball, he looks around to find. And I think, and that's what I'm so excited. But I want to see it. I know it's going to take time for him, but I want to see it gradually go better and better. If people know what I mean. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, I was just going to say another thing as well. The fact that we're going to be getting one of his teammates to play just behind him in midfield, I think that could really help him as well, because that's immediately someone that he's going to know. And obviously, Delineo can learn off him, especially because he can't speak English, apparently. So, obviously, Scarpa has really good English. So, I do think that will help him out a lot, help both of them out. And I think, if anything's going to help Scarpa develop and Delineo develop, it's both of those two working together. I don't think it was anything spectacular, but we certainly saw the signs of what he can do, and I think he really will be a big player for us going forward.
I think Mads has got a point, though, because look at the improvement in Lodi in the last few weeks.
Yeah, just going to say that.
Yeah, and people, if people watch the vlog, if people remember the Leicester game, I remember, and Des was next to me. He was giving Lodi so much abuse.
So was I. I was.
Yeah.
I gave him loads of stick.
The first 20 minutes, Des was giving him an abuse because he wouldn't give. But now, Des likes him now. See how football fans, especially Des Oldham. I think it's just old age.
Who said I liked him?
You did! Yes!
I liked him before he's played. No, he's just improved. If you want my opinion, that's a whole new subject. But I just think he's improved massively with having Scarpa in. He probably feels more at home, and sort of it's showing in his performances, isn't it?
I'm going through the comments. Where is it? I'm looking for where are we going? I'm looking for this is from Lee. Lee, good to see you yesterday. No, it wasn't yesterday, the other day. Scarpa goal, but naturally ties after 55 minutes. Once he gets fully fit speed, as Clough would say. People comments. Do you agree with Lee? What do you think about Lee's comments, Steve?
I got to give him time. I mean, look, I think Des has said it. I think you're totally right. He gets the ball and he will. I used to call it the man that can unlock a defence with one pass. I don't know. Well, me, you, and Des were there on Saturday at Blackpool, and he paid that ball to Dennis, and it was. I know Dennis missed it, but it was perfectly way to split their defence. I know it's championship defence, and he went on. Dennis missed it, and that's the sort of thing he's going to do. He will get better. Would I play him on Saturday? Yeah, I think I would play him on Saturday if away he's not playing or not fit. What do? Do you start with Sam at the top to give you that position with that number 9 at top and get Jono a little bit more wide? Cooper will know what he's going to do with that team, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I think the guy's going to be great. And I think this guy who we're bringing in will be great, because I think it'll allow the likes of Frawler to push a little bit more forward, and we'll have a lot of creativity going at the top end. And I think we're going the right way. We're going the right way.
Right, let's talk about we've got quite a lot of injuries yesterday. Bolly, Johnson, who else got injured yesterday?
Oh yeah, went down for a bit.
Who?
Oh yeah, went down for a bit.
We got injured.
Yeah.
We've got a massive game on Saturday against Leicester. Do you think if Bolly's not is out, do you think it's going to be a massive risk? Because my opinion, and I love McKenna. I'm not talking about like I said what he did for us last season. He did one of the best players in the Forest shirt, but I didn't think McKenna was. Des mentioned Neves. The ball in towards. I don't think Tory was. I think Tory was rubbish, to be fair, because Laurie had him in his back pocket. Do you think McKenna will start on Saturday?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah,
especially if Bolly's not available. And the fact, I think it's amazing. The fair play to Bolly, Man United away, we all were creasing on Bolly, saying he's nowhere near good enough. Get him out. And now, like 2 weeks later, we're really disappointed that he can't be starting the game for us. So
yeah, that's how fans are so fickle these days, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Especially because I still love Scott McKenna, but obviously he has been kind of struggling recently. Especially that I'm now seeing him ahead of McKenna as well. Give him credit where credit's due. It's a very simple goal yesterday, but I think it just shows how he's improved. I do think it's good that he didn't need that stretcher in the end. He ended up going back on for like 30 seconds, but he was running about and he seemed all right. But probably a precaution to take him off. But when the collision happened, I was right in front of it. It didn't look very good. Immediately when he went down, he looked like he was in pain. So hopefully he's all right. But at the very least, not out for long, because obviously we've got way too many injuries as it is. And centre back is definitely an area we don't want to get any more injuries because of our lack of strength and depth there. So hopefully Bolly's all right. But yeah, I do think McKenna would play. I have more faith in him than Cook. If I'm honest, I think both of them have been out of their depth at times this season. But I think it just emphasises that we do need to make sure we sign a centre back before the window shuts. For sure. I know we've been linked with that Hermoso guy from Atletico.
Seen it today.
It could be a loan, which isn't ideal, but we just need to get another centre half in with experience, pace, physicality, something we're missing at the back. And I think it's great that Wall's looking like his old self again. So we just need someone to go next to him, really. And eventually, when Nick Carte is available, that'll be an amazing set of defenders there, hopefully.
There's a few comments as well, and this is from Paul. I thought Lodi had his best game yesterday, yet partially when Tory came off. And like I said, I thought he had Tory in his back pocket. Really, I was really impressed with Lodi. And like I said, since that Leicester game, after Des gave him so much abuse, I think you Des, don't give me that little smirk. You did, dude. People guys, am I throwing Des under the bus? I do apologise, Des. I don't want to throw him in the bus. I never do. But I do so sorry. As well, this is from Nick. Thank you for another
more busters in Trent Bridge.
This from Nick, another member. During the World Cup, Fuller has more forwards, was more forward on the wing midfielder than he has been playing here. Yeah, I think that's what Des was trying to say. Wanted Des at the start, like he needs to do more things going forward than just being sitting there. That was your argument, wasn't it, Des, about Remo?
Yeah, so I'm not trying to say I told you so, because that's not the point. I just thought I'd picked on that quite early. I'd picked up on it, and I was getting pelters because he is, for the purist, he's a brilliant. He moves well. He's slick. He's this. Just doesn't impact in the position he's in, and at times, he looks a bit alien to it. Even last night, there was a couple. And he looks like the last couple of games, it looks like he's getting a bit frustrated. The Southampton one was the real one. Where you saw that frustration at the end. We don't know what that was about. I don't think it was as clear cut as it seems. But I've noticed it in a few games, him giving the ball away. Then for 10 minutes or so, he's almost running around a bit like an headless chicken. And I think he's getting a bit frustrated, probably playing slightly out of position, because I think he can make a massive impact on the team if he's further forward. And that's all I was saying, but I got absolute pelters for it early in the season.
For me, I think I put my hands up. I put my hands up. I just started because I like Remo, but I understand what Des was saying. Like I said, when I watched the World Cup, playing that position, not the holding role, just playing that. I think would you call it number 6 role in midfield, just doing basics and doing it forward and finding someone. I think that's what we need at Forest, and I think that's the reason why we're bringing Diallo and Palmeiras, who can just sit there and hopefully he can adjust to the Premier League as quick as he can. Steve, let's talk about the goalkeeper Henderson. For me, it was like I can see it right now. He was my man of the match. Get out of the way. Talk about people in the comments. How do you feel about Steve Henderson? No, Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson. Steve, talk about Dean Henderson, man. How excited was you to stay with him?
Well, I think he's a top quality goalkeeper, you know, and I think I said on a show after Blackpool that I was quite fortunate. Sorry, not Blackpool, Blackburn. I was quite fortunate to get quite close to him and watch him, you know, during the game. And I know his distributions wasn't as good as Samba's. I understand that, and maybe his distribution's got to be a little bit better. But his actual goalkeeping, the way he talks to the defenders, and the defenders trust him. You know, the defenders trust him. He made 2 brilliant saves yesterday. Mangala hopefully Mangala would have gone in the danger room at the time and brought him a point or 2, because they both came from Mangala's wayward passes.
Yeah.
And he's just, look, obviously, it's been confirmed now that he can't. Well, it was confirmed last night anyway, within 35 minutes, that Man United are not going to let him play. I don't think that's anything to do with us. I think that's something to do with Endo and the way what went off at the start of the season. All right, they're not going to do him any favours. But I'm showing my age now. I can remember in 1978, there was a goalkeeper that we had called Peter Shilton, who was absolutely brilliant. And I'm pretty sure Des can remember him.
Of course, Des can remember him.
It's not that far behind.
Of course, Des can remember him.
He's only a couple of weeks behind me.
You
had to play this young lad called Chris Woods at Liverpool in the final, all right, against the European champions, and we'd just been promoted. No one gave us a chance. I think we won it 1-0. So all you Man U fans that were booking your coaches to Wembley, you know, in February, just be warned, all right? Just be warned. Football doesn't work out like this. Hendo's a brilliant goalkeeper. We stay up. He's the first signing for me. That's my opinion. Get it done.
Comments. What do you agree, Steve? Do you think we should sign Dean Henderson? We know he just got his kicking could improve. But people in comments, what do you think? Do you think we should sign him? Yes or no? Before I get right in, I want to say hello to High Toes Diffley. Hello, Mr. DoreOnTour from Austria. Peace and love all the way from Austria. People in the comments, where's everyone watching this? And plus, who's your favourite person on here? Des, Rads, or Steve, or myself? Get in the comments who's your favourite person as well. And make sure everyone subscribes to myself and Des and Rads as well. We've got our own YouTube channels as well. So everyone make sure, get in the link in the description, make sure you subscribe. 2 players again, I want to mention, I said that they had a horror against Blackpool. Right? We're talking about Dennis and Big Sam. I'm not going to say his surname because I'll get stick for it. Sam Sturridge. Rads.
Yeah.
Really, come on. Was you impressed with both of them or not?
I think I've always liked Sam, but he obviously did struggle against Blackpool. I didn't see that game in full, but I know he missed 3 sitters. But yesterday, the main thing I remember of him is he had at one point he was 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and he ended up having like 5 Wolves players around him, and I was just thinking, how's he not managed to put that away? And I just kind of felt like if we had a better striker in that scenario, maybe it would have been a goal. To be fair, it was probably quite a tough situation to get out of. But I don't know. I just feel I wouldn't be getting rid of him. I would be keeping Surge around, but I think it just emphasised that we did need to get another striker in, because obviously Taiwo has been excellent recently, in particular. But I think we're seeing without him, we do kind of miss that presence up front, a big physical presence up front. So I think we do need another striker. Dennis has been a player that's really frustrated a lot of us.
He frustrated me yesterday. Not just me,
Yes.
the whole Trent end. The whole Trent end.
I remember there was towards the very end of the game, there was a time where he wasn't through on goal, but he was running at goal, and everyone around me was just shouting pass like they would do to Dennis. And when he did pass, it was too late.
Raz, what was he shouting pass? Do you know what the Trent end was saying? I'm not, kids, if you're under 18, cover your ears now because you don't want to hear what I'm going to say. He was saying, "Effing shoot!" That's what they were saying.
Well, yeah, he probably wants it, but no, remember, yeah. My point is he when he did eventually pass, it was a poor pass and it was to a Wolves player. So it's just really frustrating to watch. I think he's quite clearly got talent, but he's very, very ball greedy. If that's the word or phrase. And he is a good player, but I'll be getting rid of him if I'm honest. I think out of all the summer signings, he's the one that's been the most disappointing. So yeah, it's just been unfortunate for him. And the whole thing hasn't really felt right with Dennis. Just everything about the transfer, it doesn't feel like he was fully committed at first, or he just doesn't feel happy at the club. I don't know. It's a tough one, but I do know on the pitch he's not been what we all expected him to be.
I'm just checking before I get started. I got another one from Holland. Boys from the Netherlands here. From the Dutch. People like, so who's your from Holland? Who's your favorite person? Me, Des, Rads, or Steve? Who is your favorite person? People, get your comments. Who's your favorite person? I love to know. Not just me. Everyone else who comes on this channel. Who's your favorite person? I love to know. We've got Man U next. Let me ask you, Steve. We've got Man U next.
Yeah.
As you know, people, we lost 3-0 in the league. But we've not got Dean Henderson. I know I've heard it all today. But we've got nothing to lose. That's the problem. We've got nothing to lose, and we can go there confidence. People in the comments, how do you feel about the semi-final? I'm excited. I'm so excited because it's been a long time for me and Rads. Like, I'm not going to mention the age of Days and Stephen again. See, sorry, I can't help it. I'm just happy. because we're in the semi-final. That's all. See, can we do it?
Yes.
Can we do it?
Yes. Yeah, we will. Yeah, we can. Do I think we'll do it? Yeah, I think we will. I just, I think I trust the manager. I think we're a lot better than what we are at the minute. I think we're a very difficult team to beat. We've beaten Liverpool. I mean, I stood with you guys outside the Chelsea game and I said, "Oh, I'll take a point now. And I walked out that game that Sunday and I was gutted because I thought we dropped 2 points. So yeah, I do think we can do it. If I'm right, our last game is Bournemouth, and then because we missed the 28th, Man U have got a cup game, haven't they? And then we play the semi-final on the Tuesday. Is that been confirmed? It's on the Tuesday. Is it on the Tuesday, the 24th?
24th. Yeah,
that's
what it says on the website, but you never know.
Tuesday,
You never
24th. So we got that. Yeah, and look, it's over 2 legs. It's not going to be easy. We're not going to go there and win 3-0 or something like that. But yeah, I think we can do it. And all of our players, all of them, have got to play 10 out of 10 in both legs to win. That's what I'm saying. We can't carry any passengers. You carry any passengers that day because they're going to play their big guns and we're going to play our big guns. And they've got to be 110%. All our lads have, from everyone, from the goalkeeper to the forward.
100%. I was looking for another comment as well, and there's another foreigner, even everyone for Cleveland, IRA, Forest around the world. So I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Everyone's watching it from outside the UK. So thank you for watching it.
Been changed.
Massive. Thank you. Right, I'm gonna go through the player ratings, and I'm gonna say who's your man of match for yesterday's game. Put people in the comments who was your man of match and what was your rating. Let me start with you, Raz. Who is your man of match and rating of the team?
Well, for me, it's definitely Henderson. First half, those 2 chances that he saved. You know, that mistake from Mancala, who obviously I think had a bit of a poor game by his standards. 2 Wolves players running out goal, and it looked like it was going to be a certified goal, but no, Henderson saved. It was a fantastic start. And the second one, in fact, he made us several crucial saves in the first half. I know we all going about his distribution not being the best. I think it has mildly improved compared to what it was, but he still needs to work on it for sure. But overall, you know, I don't think we would have won last night without him. You know, and this is why I do understand what Steve was saying. You know, let's not write off Hennessy, but I do think without Hendo against United, it would be very, very difficult because of how crucial it is to us. And, you know, hopefully Hennessy can prove us wrong. He played very well in that Spurs match. So, you know, he does have it in him. But obviously he wasn't. It was awful against Blackpool. So, yeah, I do have my concerns with the goalie in that United game in the Cup. But ultimately for me, it's definitely Henderson. As for the team, I don't think we were outstanding. As Cooper said in his press conference, you know, it's good that we can win games. And Wall said this as well, without even really playing at our best or even close to our best. And teams that are successful go on to do that a lot. So I think that's really important. So I'd probably say a 6.5 out of 10 for Forest. I don't think it was anything outstanding, but we got the job done, and there's some great performances in there again.
Des?
I can't disagree with Henderson. I've already mentioned how well I thought Volley played until that 60-minute mark. I can understand why Henderson got man of the match before full time, but then when he made the penalty saves, you can't argue at all, can you? You know, your goalkeeper's winning the football match. He's the man of the match. I just want to say something very quickly on the goalkeeper situation with Man United. You know, people are getting a bit upset that Man U won't let Henderson play. Of course they're not going to let Henderson play. Of course they're not. You know, exactly. Why would they? You know, especially, and I'm not having a go at him because I trust Hennessy in goal. You know, I still think he's a decent keeper. But especially when he made that cock up in the league game. You know, they're going to be thinking, get that guy in the sticks. We're not going to put a decent keeper in there and with a chance of shutting us out. You know, remember a couple of years ago when Forest wouldn't let Cardiff play
Adoma?
Because his loan had finished and they wouldn't extend it for the playoffs or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, of course, they're not going to. But, yeah, back to the man of the match and the team ratings. I think 7, you know. I think there's more than one way to win a football match sometimes. It's not all about attacking football all the time. We spoke about how certain players might have been doing a different kind of job in the second half. And then when losing one of our key players, because Bolly was a key player, it almost looked like he was going to be the match winner. And he put in another strong performance. You know, we've come through it. We've fought hard and we've won it. I think Forest played better than some people give them credit for. There was some decent stuff in the first 15 minutes of that second half. Some good passing between Aurora and Foyer and Yatesy and Johnson. So, yeah, I don't think it was we was quite as bad as some have mentioned. But, of course, we had to withstand that pressure. So I'm quite happy that we won the football match and we found a way to do it.
100%. Last but not least, Steve, man of the match.
Well, it's look, I think it's obviously Endo. You know, I don't think anyone could say anyone different. Endo. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for the second one who I thought was, but Endo was definitely man of the match. But someone I think needs to be, who I thought really had a good game yesterday, was the other Brazilian Lodi. I'm really liking him now. And I know Des is most probably going to fall off his chair because, I know how much Des rated him early in the season. He's looking. He looked really good yesterday, and he had their winger in the pocket. But yeah, I'm liking him. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Brazil at the minute. Just hope this lad's just as good as everyone's saying.
Yeah, like I said, it's good that we're getting Brazilian hype, people. I just don't want to be on that Carvalho hype as everyone did.
A different class, man. Different.
Nah,
sorry,
I'm just saying, I don't want to be. I bet you any money Rads was in the Carvalho hype when he came. What your Rads? Was you not hype?
I mean, biased transfer probably was, but I was definitely not someone that was backing him towards the end. When people were just still saying, "Oh, why isn't Carvalho playing?" I saw, when he went out on loan to Spain, he clearly not good enough. So like he just went missing.
Carvalho hype. Sorry, it's not valid.
And now look at him. He's in league. He's in Spanish. Spanish League 2. So
anyone we sign now is above Carvalho.
Yeah. Right, Kieran. I'm not trying. Kieran, I'm not being negative, mate. I'm not being negative. I'm just saying. I don't. I want.
People should have to give £5 to charity when they mention that name on here.
Yeah, I think I should do. I think I should do. But I think I will give it to. I will give it charity to £5 because I do apologise. It winds me up. Like these players, like any player, it could be English or abroad player. They've not even kicked. He's not even kicked the ball, and everyone's. I know the kids watching this, but I don't want to go over the top about it. I don't want to. I want to watch him live and see how he is. Scarpa is, from what I've seen, has been good, but I want to see better. That's all I'm saying, people. That's all I'm saying. Right, I'm going to get going, people. It's been a great show. Des, do a little plug to your channel. I have put Des and Brad's channels in the comments, so make sure everyone subscribes to both of them. Des, do a link.
Yeah, it'd be amazing if people could just hit that subscribe button. I understand it's a little bit different from football, but I have got a lot of supporters from DoreOnTour. The people who tend to watch it, are from DoreOnTour, and people I sort of associate with as well. It's just a channel about trying to be positive and enthusiastic. I try and be positive. Not always positive about football, but in the real world, I try and be really, really positive and just do the things I enjoy and talk about it. When I'm feeling a bit rubbish, I talk about it. Some people find it a bit uncomfortable, but it's really, really light-hearted stuff. I don't get technical, just to try and help people who might be suffering a little bit, or people who just need a different sort of perspective in life.
So like I said, people, make sure everyone where is it? Where have I put it? Where have I put it? I don't know where I put it now. There it is. People, it's there. I put it in. Like I said, it's there in the comments. Make sure just give it a little click and help.
270 away from 1,000, or
right, people. There's 58 people in. Go on, support Des' channel. It's a massive help as well. Raz has got a channel as well. Link is here. Raz, do yours as well.
Yeah. Nottingham Forest mainly vlogs.
And he's got a vlog out, people. He's got a vlog.
Yeah, go and check it out, everyone. It's very dramatic, very tense, as it would be.
Right, let me say something. This is why I'm suing Stephen. It was assault. It was actually assault that he did. The people in the comments, if you want to help me out, go on Rad's channel and call. What's the Forest man? Simon, the police officer. If you're watching this, I know you're watching this as well. Simon, I'll be calling you in the way day. This is assault. Come on, lads.
Yeah, just please come over to subscribe. I would appreciate it.
Yes.
Trying to get to 5K. Doing lots of videos. So stay tuned, and I'm sure you'll like it.
Yeah, as well. So make sure everyone subscribes to theirs. Make sure everyone subscribes to theirs. Stephen hasn't got a channel, but his agent, she's in bed. So
yeah, she's behind me.
Make sure you watch Door's post-match reviews to see some.
No, right. People in the comments. Right, before I do go, I'm not happy. I've started this after review thing, and I thought it was a good idea doing something. I'm sick of that. I was Des got the most views from it. People say to me, "Oh, I'm sick and tired of Des. Well, you got the most views of him. So you're lying. People love Des on after, like even Raz did a after review show. Go and watch Raz's after review show. Watch my after review and go and watch Des as well if you want to. Well, I seen this morning. I thought, how has Des got more views than everyone else? Because he's intelligent. That's what everyone says. He talks football. It's to me. Kick out Des, people. If you want to hashtag, have a hashtag, kick out Des, promote it everywhere, please. And what's this? And there's the dog. There's the dog. There he is. There's the dog. He's made an appearance. Well, like the people, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for everyone that come on, like a Des, Steve and Des. God. Tomorrow, it's my preview show with the Leicester fan. If you want to have a little bit of fun, I will be going on Leicester channel in 10 minutes. So help me out, people, because I'm going to get absolutely hammered because he destroyed me last time. He mocked me on Twitter, Instagram, and a lot. So if you do want to go on the channel, I will put go on my Twitter, Instagram, and help me out because this Leicester fan is going to actually kill me. Not literally kill me, but just banter me or left, right, and centre. So if you do want to help me out, please do. Right, Des, Brad, Steve, appreciate it for coming on the channel. People as well, if you do a massive favour me before you do leave, there's 52 people in. Please do hit the like button. Subscribe if you know I'm trying to get to 11k before the end of the season, and I'm almost there, but I need your help. Please do, and I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock for the preview show. Peace and love, up the Forest.